Hello, YouTube.
How you all doing? We are blessed. Hope everybody's blessed today.
Yes, we just want to talk a little bit about our trip to Africa. So, I know I talked about my time that I had in the restroom. So I'm gonna let my husband do most of the talking. I might say a little bit of something, but since I already did a video about my experience, but we will be coming on more because it's so much
Yeah.
to talk about.
We'll do a series probably of videos. But we first have to recuperate. And so we're, for the most part, have recuperated from it. But it was a trip of a lifetime, like the advertisement for the tour we went on. And it's just life changing. I mean, to the extent where we're ready to move now. We already consulted a real estate agent about selling. You know, when you finally get somewhere where they welcome you, they appreciate you, and they want you there to the extent where they offer you free land. I mean, it's like a no-brainer that something's up, you know. So, but it was just an amazing experience, and I had a feeling it would be. We've been trying to get there for years, but we just finally did it, you know. And of all the trips we've ever been on, this was the trip of a lifetime. And anybody who's ever been anywhere needs to do this, needs to take a trip. And I don't mean just any trip. We suggest you do the trip we did, the tour we did, Africa for the Africans. And I have some cards that I can give out, letting people know. If anybody's really interested, then instead of me just promoting it with the video, just message us, and then we will make sure that we get the information to you. But you really want to do this tour, because if you do this tour, then you're going to get a perspective of Africa, of the country of Ghana, which is where we went. You're going to get a perspective that you wouldn't get any other way, because we actually, there's 10 different regions in the whole country of Ghana. We actually went to 5 of the 10 regions. So we toured all over Ghana. So we were busy. I mean, we did a little of everything.
It was non-stop.
Non-stop, yeah. So between being non-stop and then the time differential and 3 flights, I mean, you know, we got to run. We had to run for it. We were about the oldest ones on the tour. There was, I think, one lady that was maybe a year or so older than me. Other than that, we're the oldest on the tour. So, you know, a lot of the young folks, they were going. They were running.
Yeah,
then they partied every night on top of all that. We didn't do no partying with them.
No.
But they would party, still get up and do everything. But anyway, we at least got our money's worth out of the tour. And it was really amazing. Country's amazing. The people are amazing. Just the whole atmosphere. And you can tell as soon as you land, they'll welcome you at the airport, greeting you. They got bands playing, welcoming music, and, you know, everybody's just smiling. And, you know, most African Americans have never went anywhere where, you know, really where anybody even wanted them, let alone to welcome you and say, welcome home, this is your home, and we're so glad you came back. And, you know, that was the theme throughout the whole 12 days, total of about 12 days we were there. Like I said, amazing. The people are so friendly, you know, and they don't fight, they don't hassle with each other. They don't even get into arguments with each other. And from what we understand is a lot of people we talked to said they've never seen anybody fight or anything, never in their lifetime. The people, if someone gets heated in a heated conversation with someone, before it can even get to the point where they're ready to throw blows or do anything, the people are breaking it up and saying, you don't want to do this to your brother, you don't want to do this to your sister, you know, you got to show love. And they don't allow anything like that to go on. And it's just the opposite of here in the States, where people will egg you on and try to get you to fight a person because they want to see some action trip. It's not like that there. It's just total peace and tranquility, and you can sense it in the air once you get off the plane. It's just a whole different atmosphere. You know, I mean, there are people that break down and cry once they even get off the plane. I mean, and emotions throughout the whole tour. There's at different times, people's emotions would catch up with them, and they just couldn't deal with it. And that's men and women, you know.
And especially at what was that? The place of no return.
Oh, the slave dungeons.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's several slave dungeons. We went to the main one, but most of the blacks that were taking slaves came from the Gold Coast, or the Slavery Coast, Slave Coast, Gold Coast. It's the same region, and that's right there in Ghana. And we went to the main, they used to call it a castle. Actually, they still call it a castle. They're petitioning them to change the name to dungeon, because even though upstairs above the slave dungeon, the whites were partying and having church services, while downstairs 1,300 and some slaves were being tortured to death, you know, in the dungeons. And right there, the same building, you know. So they're trying to petition for a name change. And I believe it's going to happen. But that was very emotional.
Yeah, very
going
emotional.
There, you know.
And they have a door of no return. But guess what? We returned.
Yeah, we went backward through that door.
Yeah.
Know? And when during the big part of slavery, nobody ever thought the people would return or their descendants would return, but we were able to return. The whole area is it's like a sacred type area. When you're in the dungeons, you can really sense the pain and suffering. It's almost it's like an atmosphere in the dungeon, you know, where the people were tortured, and they stayed in the dungeon for anywhere from 2 weeks, they said, to 3 months. Thousands